Jayam Vishnupad Paramahangsa Brahmadakacharya Asadhara Sidhushi Sriman His Divine Grace Shalasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Raj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Hari all glories to the sound devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskyatyade Satarna Om Agana Timarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shiva Sakantvitam Cha Hey Krishna Karna Sindho Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishubhanu Siddha Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakapa Trubhyascha Kripa Sinubhyevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So I'm reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 12, Birth of Emperor Parikshit, text number 19, I believe. We have a light. Brahmana Uchu Partha Prajavita Sakshat Ikshvakur Eva Manava Brahmanya Satya Sandascha Brahmo Darsharatir Yata Brahmana Uchu Partha Prajavita Saksha Ishvakuriva Manava Brahmya Satya Sandascha Brahmano Darsha Ratahi Uritir Yata Manava Yata Mana Uchu Yata Uchu Sakshat Bhagavanava Sancha Yata Guri Vamanava Saksacha Ramo Rajnari Tiryata Uja Saksacha Guri Vamanava Aranya Jatiyandasa Amasasaritiriyata Ocha Sakshat Ishvakuriva Manava Ramanya Sanjasa Ramo Darshana Tiryata. Ladies, Manochu Sakshat Sakuri Vamanava Maya Sandasya Ramano Darshari Tiryata. Brahmana, the good brahmanas, Uchu said, Partha, Osana Prita, Kunti, Praja, those who are born, Avita, maintainer, Sakshat, directly, Ikshvaku, Iva, exactly like King Ikshvaku. Manava, son of Manu. Brahmanya, followers and respectful to the Brahmanas. Satya, Sandhya, truthful by promise. Cha, also. Rama, the personality of Godhead. Rama. Darsharati, the son of Maharaj Dasarat. Yata, like him. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The learned Brahmana said, O son of Pritha, this child shall be exactly like King Ikshvaku, son of Manu, maintaining all those who are born. And as for following the Brahminical principles, especially in being true to his promise, he shall be exactly like Rama, the personality of Godhead, the son of Maharaj Dasarat. So now we have one of the longest purports in the Bhagavatam. So we're going to test to make sure everyone has remembered everything that's in the purport. You have to turn the screen off, of course. Praja means the living being who has taken his birth in the material world. Actually, the living being has no birth and no death. But because of his separation from the service of the Lord, and due to his desire to lord it over material nature, he is offered a suitable body to satisfy his material desires. In doing so, he becomes conditioned by the laws of material nature, and the material body is changed in terms of his own work. The living entity thus transmigrates from one body to another, in 8,400,000 species of life. But due to his being the part and parcel of the Lord, he not only is maintained with all necessities of life by the Lord, but is also protected by the Lord and his representatives, the saintly kings. These saintly kings give protection to all the prajas, or living beings, to live and to fulfill their terms of imprisonment. Maharaj Parikshit was actually an ideal saintly king because while touring his kingdom, he happened to see a poor cow was about to be killed by the personified Kali, whom he at once took to task as a murderer. This means that even the animals were given protection by the saintly administrators. Not from any sentimental point of view, but because those who have taken their birth in the material world have the right to live. All the saintly kings, beginning from the kings of the sun globe down to the king of the earth, are so inclined by the influence of the Vedic literatures. The Vedic literatures are taught in higher planets also, as there is reference in the Bhagavad Gita 4.1 about the teachings to the sun god Vivishvan by the Lord. And such lessons are transferred by disciple succession as it was done by the sun god to his son Manu, and from Manu to Maharaj Ikshvaku. There are 40 Manus in one day of Brahma, and the Manu referred to herein is the seventh Manu, who is one of the Prajapatis, those who create. And he is the son of the sun god. He is known as Vivashvata Manu. He had 10 sons, and Maharaj Ikshvaku is one of them. Maharaj Ikshvaku also learned the Bhakti Yoga as taught in the Bhagavad Gita from his father Manu, who got it from his father, the sun god. Later on, the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita came down by disciple succession from Maharaj Ikshvaku. But in course of time, the chain was broken by unscrupulous persons, and therefore it again had to be taught to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So all the Vedic literatures are current from the very beginning of creation of the material world, and thus the Vedic literatures are known as Apurushaya, not made by man. The Vedic knowledge is spoken by the Lord and first heard by Brahma, the first created being, living being within the universe. And now we go over the different personalities. Maharaj Ikshvaku, one of the sons of Vivashvata Manu, he had 100 sons. He prohibited meat eating. His son Shashara became the next king after his death. Manu. The Manu mentioned in this verse as the father of Ikshvaku is the seventh Manu of the name Vivashvata Manu, the son of sun god Vivashvan, to whom Lord Krishna instructed the teachings of Bhagavad Gita prior to his teaching them to Arjuna. Mankind is the descendant of Manu. Thus Vivashvata Manu had 10 sons named Ikshvaku, Nabhaga, Drishta, Sharati, Nirishanta, Nabhaga, Dishta, Karusha, Prashradra, and Vasuman. The Lord's incarnation, Matsya, the gigantic fish, was invented during the beginning of Vivashvata Manu's reign. He learned the principles of Bhagavad Gita from his father Vivashvan, the sun god, and he reinstructed the same to his son Maharaj Ikshvaku. In the beginning of the Treta Yuga, the sun god instructed devotional service to Manu, and Manu in turn instructed to Ikshvaku for the welfare of the whole human society. Lord Ram, or Lord Rama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead incarnated himself as Sri Rama, accepting the sonhood of his pure devotee, Maharaj Dasarath. the king of Ayodhya. Lord Ram descended along with his plenary portions, and all of them appeared as his younger brothers. In the month of Chaitra, on the 9th day of the growing moon in the Treta Yuga, the Lord appeared, as usual, to establish the principles of religion and to annihilate the disturbing elements. When he was just a young boy, he helped the great sage Vishvamitra by killing Sabahu and striking Marichi, the she-demon, who was disturbing the sages in their daily discharge of duties. The Brahmanas and Kshatriyas are meant to cooperate for the welfare of the mass of people. The Brahmana sages endeavor to enlighten the people by perfect knowledge, and the Kshatriyas are meant for their protection. Lord Ramachandra is the ideal king for maintaining and protecting the highest culture of humanity, known as Brahmanya Dharma. The Lord is specifically the protector of the cows and the Brahmanas, and hence he enhanced the prosperity of the world. He rewarded the administrative demigods by effective weapons to conquer the demons through the agency of Vishvamrita. He was present in the bow sacrifice of King Janaka, and by breaking the invincible bow of Shiva, he married Sita Devi, daughter of Maharaj Janaka. After his marriage, he accepted exile in the forest for 14 years by the order of his father Maharaj Dasarat. To help the administration of the demigods, he killed 14,000 demons, and by the intrigues of the demons, his wife Sita Devi was kidnapped by Ravana. He made friendship with Sugriva, who was helped by the Lord to kill Vali, brother of Sugriva. By the help of Lord Rama, Sugriva became the king of the Varanas, a race of gorillas. The Lord built a floating bridge of stones on the Indian Ocean and reached Lanka, the kingdom of Ravana, who had kidnapped Sita. Later on, Ravana was killed by him, and Ravana's brother Bibhishana was installed on the throne of Lanka. Bibhishana was one of the brothers of Ravana, a demon. The Lord Rama made him immortal by his blessings. On the expiry of 14 years after settling the affairs of Lanka, the Lord came back to his kingdom, Ayodhya, by flower playing. It's called flower power. He instructed the brother Shatrugna to attack Lavanasura, who reigned at Mathura, and the demon was killed. He performed 10 Ashvamedha sacrifices, and later on he disappeared while taking a bath in the Sarayu River. The great epic Ramayana is a history of Lord Rama's activities in the world, and the authoritative Ramayana was written by the great poet Valmiki. So the text again, Brahmana Uchut Partha Prajavita Sakshad Ikshvakuriva Manava Brahmanya Satya Sandascha Ramano Darshartiryata. The learned Brahmana said, O son of Pritha, this child shall be exactly like King Ishvaku, the son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born. And as for following the Brahminical principles, especially in being true to his promise, he shall be exactly like Rama, personality of Godhead, the son of Maharaj Dasarat. Namo Vishnu Vidaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswatam Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirbhishesha Shnivadi Paskyadyade Siddharne. It's nice being here in New Dwarka. So many senior devotees here. It's just like a second Alachua, almost. And of course, this is the way to start the new year. First of all, we're honoring our mother in the form of Ekadasi. Probably the devotees get intoxicated on prasadam. And they'll sing and dance in love of Krishna. So this is definitely the proper way to start a new year. Of course, that's the way we end the old year too, but anyhow, keep on a good thing. Here it mentions that we're all eternal. So that's very good news, that we're all eternal. Unfortunately, now we're eternally in hell. So that's not such good news. So the idea is, since we're aja, just like Krishna says, ajo pisan navayatma bhutanam ishvaro pisan. Although I'm unborn, so we're also all unborn. Although we think we're taking birth, but actually we're not being born, only the body is born. We ourselves are just like the sun, just like Krishna, that the sun rises in the morning and in the evening it sets, but it doesn't mean that the sun has disappeared. It simply has disappeared to our sight. And if one thinks now the sun is being born in the morning and now it's dying in the evening, that's a misconception. The soul has never been, the sun was never born, and the sun will never die, at least as long as the universe is here. Similarly, we appear in a body, but that's not actually our birth, it's the birth of the body. And when we leave this body, it's actually we don't die, it's the death of this body, and we appear somewhere else. Therefore, we're aja. Unfortunately, due to illusion, we're thinking ourselves to be this body, either gross or subtle, and therefore we undergo the threefold miseries. Yatmika, what is that? No. In the first canto, after Krishna is meditating on the Srila Vyasadeva was asked to meditate on Krishna, and so Bhakti Yoga Yaya Samohita Jiva Atmanam Tri Gunatmakam Paropi Manyate Narata Tat Pitam Pratipajate. Yasamohita. So now we're completely illusion. That we're thinking that this is actual existence, the existence of the body, but actually the body is just like a virtual reality created by Krishna, and we're put into that virtual reality. And the virtual reality is our useless attempt to become something that we can't be. And we're actually thinking that we're making progress sometimes, and that's called joy, our plan to become God. And sometimes it appears that we're being frustrated in our attempt to become God. That's called lamentation. But whether we're lamenting or we're hankering or whatever, we're joyful, it is all an illusion because we're not making any progress whatsoever. We're just wasting our time desiring to become something that we can't become. But we can utilize that same desire, and we can utilize it to try to become Krishna's servant, and that's quite good because that's who we are. As soon as we try to become Krishna's servant, then we're actually situated in reality. Because even in the spiritual world, no one really thinks themselves to be a fixed servant of Krishna, because love means that it's voluntary. So Krishna can eternally accept our love, or he can reject it. He can accept our service, or he can not accept our service. So everyone is always hankering to become a better servant of Krishna, hoping that they'll become accepted by Krishna, or by Krishna's devotees. Similarly, here if we feel ourselves to be servants of Krishna, that's good and it may not be good. Actually, we should feel ourselves trying to become Krishna's servant. Because Prabhupada once said, it's not so easy to become Krishna's servant. It's a very exalted position. All we can do is hanker to become the servant of Krishna's servants. And hope that someday Krishna and his servants will accept our service. Just like we don't approach, Srila Prabhupada said on Srimati Radharani's appearance day, that we don't approach Krishna directly. Because that is not a very good attempt to become Krishna's servant. We have to become the servant of Krishna's servant. So Srila Prabhupada said we take a flower and we put it in Srimati Radharani's hands and say, my dear Srimati Radharani, you are actually a servant of Krishna. I would like to become a servant of Krishna, but I know you're a servant of Krishna, so I'm giving you this flower to offer to Krishna. And Srimati Radharani is thinking, oh, here's a real devotee of Krishna. That she offers it to Krishna. Krishna, here's a real devotee. He's giving me this flower to offer to you. I'm really not such a devotee, but because I'm serving him, maybe I'll become a devotee. Therefore, please accept the flower. And Krishna has to accept the flower. He has no choice, practically speaking. Although supposedly has his free will, but his natural tendency to love his devotees and serve his devotees means practically he surrendered his free will to his devotees. Therefore, to become a servant of Krishna's servants is the actual means of approaching Krishna properly and revising our eternal consciousness of who we actually are. Now, of course, the best servant of Krishna is those who tell us how to perfectly serve Krishna and who are perfectly serving Krishna, but they also tell us how to serve those who are aspiring to become Krishna's servants. It is not that to serve the pure devotee means only serve him and not to serve anyone else. But to serve the pure devotee means to serve his instructions and follow his example, how he is a servant of everyone. When Srila Prabhupada was in Stockholm giving a lecture, he mentioned that there are 4 classes of men. The Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras. And the Brahmins are the topmost. They're the head of society. One man in the audience said, "Oh, Swamiji, so you think you're the topmost? You're a Brahmin." So Prabhupada said, "No." He said, "I'm 5th class. I'm the servant of all the other classes." So that's our mood. We have to become by becoming servant of Krishna and servant of his devotees. We learn how to properly serve every living entity. And if we're not serving properly every living entity, then we must be outside the realm of Krishna consciousness, at least when we're not properly serving other living entities. Because Krishna has a desire that everyone goes back to Godhead, and that's our main service, is to help everyone go back to Godhead. To realize that everyone is aja, everyone is eternal. Since everyone is eternal, we should act nicely towards everyone, because we're going to have to live with them eternally. If you're going to share a room with someone, then it's good to be nice to them, because otherwise they're going to cause you a lot of trouble. So if we're going to live with each other eternally, we might as well be nice to each other, or else we're going to get into a lot of trouble. And what to speak of the positive side, if we develop love for Krishna and love for Krishna's part and parcels, then the result is that we'll be happy with each other eternally. So to do that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said we only have one business, is to help everyone realize that they're aja, that they're eternal, and that they're Krishna das. Yari deka tari kaha Krishna upadesh amar aga gurahana tari desh. That whoever we meet, at any time, whoever they are, any species of life, our only business is to somehow or another have the intelligence how to help them in some way or another make progress in Krishna consciousness. And that is the perfection of our relationship with any living entity. Outside of that, then we can't be following Krishna's instructions. As soon as we forget that, as soon as we have some relationship outside of helping each other become Krishna conscious, helping other living entities becoming Krishna conscious, somehow or another we're outside the realm of Krishna consciousness. That's why we have sadhana bhakti. Because knowingly or unknowingly, by practicing in the temple in the morning and the evening, then the result is that we're helping each other become Krishna conscious. When we chant, we ourselves are becoming Krishna conscious, and others hear the holy names, they become Krishna conscious. When others chant and we listen, then we're becoming Krishna conscious. So sadhana bhakti is meant to give us an opportunity to learn how to help others become Krishna conscious. And if we go out and preach, then the result is that we help people become Krishna conscious, and we help ourselves become Krishna conscious. Or even if we go to work, and we know that the results of the work are dedicated to Krishna, then the result is that we'll probably remember Krishna more than not. And that way we only have one business, is to remember Krishna and help others remember Krishna too. And by remembering Krishna, then we remember who we actually are, and that is Krishna's eternal servant. And as mentioned in this verse, there are many historical instances of Ikshvaku, Lord Ramachandra, whoever is mentioned here, but their only business is to help others become Krishna conscious. So everything is actually quite simple. Even God, when He comes to help people become Krishna conscious. He shows an ideal example. He arranges His society in such a way as to give people the best opportunity to remember Him. Lord Ramachandra acts as a saintly king because, of course, He's saintly, but also He attracts the living entities to think about Him. And by thinking about Him, they make progress. Not only when Lord Ramachandra was here, but throughout history, Lord Ramachandra was such a fantastic personality that he attracts even people today, even in Muslim countries, that if you go to a place like Indonesia, or I think I was in Philippines, that in the Philippines, I think it was the Philippines, I can't remember what it was. They had this huge, if you go to Thailand, for instance, you go there are temples, and all the temples, even though Thailand is supposedly a Buddhist country, in the temples there's the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. Of course, they may not be the Valmiki Ramachandra, Lord Ramayan, but there's Lord Ramachandra is glorified, and Ravana is not glorified, but anyhow, he's disgraced. He's criticized. Anyhow, in all these beautiful temples, the Lord Buddha, but in the temples there's pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. And this way, even now, he's attracting people to Krishna, his pastimes, because he is Krishna. And if we become attracted to the pastimes, it means we're becoming attracted to Krishna and his devotees. So that's the mission of every incarnation. That's the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that if we make that our mission, then our lives will become perfect also. And it's a simple mission. We simply have to go out and tell people about Krishna and invite them to come and hear about Krishna. Invite them to take up the process of sadhana bhakti so that they can remember Krishna even when they're outside the temple, even in their homes, in the street, and become serious about sadhana bhakti, get a taste for chanting, chant a prescribed number of rounds a day and follow principles that help us focus our mind more on Krishna, and then become more serious to do some service to the Sankirtan movement, and then by immersing oneself in the Sankirtan movement, getting the full mercy of Krishna and developing our original godly qualities so that we become just like Krishna and we can go out and preach and attract others to come and hear about Krishna too. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions? Yes. Yeah, there's a rose here, I know.
Every year in the Rose Bowl parade, Malaysia Airlines has a giant, 30, 40 feet high, rose flower-covered murtis of Ramachandra and Sita. And they're in the parade every year.
Jai. So actually it's a spiritual parade practically, at least for a few seconds when they pass by. Who's that boy and who's that girl with that boy? Jai, Sitaram, Ki Jai. Hey, there are devotees there now chanting. It's going on right now, the Rose Bowl? The Rose Bowl is going on right now? Jai. Thank you. Anything else? Thank you. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. How many devotees are at the Rose Bowl? How many devotees were?